All right, tell me something, Mr. Joe. I like your hair, by the way.
Thank you.
It's all kind of squiggly.
Crazy. Well, we're going to take a look at Riverside Cemetery. It's a little cemetery up in belle fourche. And this one's actually kind of interesting. Originally, it started in 1887. The original ownership was through John Guild and aforementioned Seth Bullock. Sold to George Fuller for 500 acres. For $500, the south 1/2 and the southeast 1/4 and south 1/2 of southwest 1/4, section 10. Basically,
it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's 160 acres.
Doesn't seem that big.
Yeah, well, that's just a section of it. He got that great big quadrant. And then in 1889, a pre-exemption patent was issued to George Fuller, the original owner, by President Benjamin Harrison. From there, a sheriff's deed was issued to the Western Dakota Loan and Trust Company, basically making the claimant to the property. And then in 1900, a quitclaim deed for $100 was issued to Bruce Sebastian, F.G. King, Lee Martin, John Brandt, Tom Johnson, Samuel G. Mortimer, Dean Simons, Clark Reeves, Joseph Driscoll, Joseph Highsaw, and H.E. Thompson. And those are all basically the founding fathers for the cemetery works. A couple other parties eventually came on to become trustees. Warranty deed was issued to George B. Kraft for $3,500 for part of the property. And then George Kraft sold to John L. Hubbard, Jr. for $1,500. And from there, 2 acres were set aside to Bruce Sebastian for that cemetery. So that's where the first founding came from, was in 1900. A quitclaim deed for $1 to George F. Mortimer and Dorothy Mortimer Dunlap, only children of Samuel G. Mortimer, from the city of belle fourche for the 2 acres containing the Riverside Cemetery. So over the course of 13 years was when they first got the cemetery started. And
it took them 13 years to set up a cemetery?
Yeah.
That seems a long time.
Yeah, back in those days, they had to go through
I know that there's a lot of paperwork, but jeez.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was also 3 years before it even became a state, so... And, of course, Benjamin Harrison was the guy who signed the deed, if I remember right, for some state called South Dakota.
I don't know.
But that's a little bit of the tidbits. So the history of it goes back to 1887 for all of you who like old stuff. Go ahead and enjoy the video. Again, this is Joe from the Bud Files. Have a good one.
And just an update, they lied. It says Riverside, but there's no river. Not beside it on any of the sides. So they lied. Again. I'm filing a complaint. Goodbye. Shout out time. Here's a shout out just for you. You support me, so I support you. Our first shout out is for our friend, Woman Outdoors. Woman Outdoors is a channel about a lady who has a lot of outdoor skills. None that I can ever hope to have. Cooking, camping. She shares her adventures. She says, I camp out all seasons. Share my adventures. Make sure to like, share, comment. She also has Instagram, so if you have one of those things, check her out. If you're interested in outdoors, if you're interested in camping, you just want to see somebody who's more skilled than you. That's why I watch. I'm always amazed by people who have skills that I don't have, which is a lot of people's. Anyway, have a good day. Goodbye. All the way. All right, Mr. Joseph.
All right. Well, we are here at the huge metropolis of Mason. This was one of the little towns that they had along what we have here is Highway 79. This was actually the old 79 before they decided to reroute it in the 50s. Mason at its time had a number of people. It had a post office, general store, several houses, a church, like a lot of small town America. Of course, once they rerouted 79, a lot of the people saw no more need to come up through here. And with the advent of modern machinery and modern farming equipment, they didn't need nearly as many people to run a farm anymore. We're trying to decide on this piece of property over here. This might have been where the church was, the St. Anthony Church. It was hit by a tornado in the 80s. It was never rebuilt. So that might have been what's left of it.
Or that could have been what's left of it.
Yeah. As you can see, there is steps and several portions of concrete wall, probably consisting of a basement at one time. And behind it, there's also a second set of concrete foundation work. But this is official land. It's just past the turn, one road that would go up to, irony, Mason Road, going north. But this is the other direction. This is 79 that takes you up this hill to 85. Hopefully between here and 85 we're going to find the other town that we've been searching for, a town called Macy. But this one here was also named after a pioneer who came out to settle out here, John Mason, if I remember right. I haven't bugged my buddy Jordan Mason if he's related, but yeah, we finally discovered where it is. And there's one house that we passed back here that has like about 300 cattle around it, plus to their social distancing because they're good cows. And we also did see a herd of antelope and a herd of deer on our way up the 79. So they are out here in droves because there's just simply no humans out here to hunt them. They like it that way. So, but we're on our way for the next leg of the adventure. Come along with us, and we'll talk to you folks later. This is Joe from the Bud Files. That's Sue. That's Goose. Have a good one, folks.
Are you ready? Shout out number 2. Shout out time. Here's a shout out just for you. You support me, so I support you. Our second shout out is for Scratching Pete, which is a scratching channel, which I did not know was a thing. But apparently people do it and enjoy it. And actually, I found the channel interesting and semi-relaxing. I'm not a big scratcher. Joe buys the cards occasionally, and next time he does, I will shoot a video for you, just for my scratching friends. Okay, this is the view of Riverside. It's Riverside, isn't it? Riverside Cemetery in belle fourche, South Dakota. We're not in the middle of nowhere. We're actually kind of on the edge of town. I'll have to have
southwestern edge of the town.
Southwestern edge of the town, which for once means there's people nearby. I'll have Joe do some research because this was kind of a last minute. We needed to get something done today.
As Sue would say, this is actually one of 4 cemeteries that are around this town.
Which is weird.
Belle Fourche actually is one of the stronger ranching communities we have here in South Dakota. It also was the one of the railheads. Interestingly enough, a lot of the railheads that we had here in this state started on the eastern end of the state, because on this side of the state was the Lakota Nation, the Great Sioux Reservation. And then as the state slowly was unlocked, the railroads came from that direction. But a lot of railroads originated from here and worked their way east. As mentioned before in other videos, one of the big things that they had up here north of the Black Hills was there was a lot of agriculture that was attempted, things like raspberries, strawberries, blueberries. A lot of the land up here, we have an effect that's known as gumbo. It's real awful to try to walk in when it's wet, but it raises really good crops that have a lot of nutrients in them. Cattle feeding on the grass actually would be 10 to 12 times larger masses of meat for their products. The only downside is, again, if you had a cow out on the gumbo and it got wet, that cow could break legs.
Yeah.
So needless to say, there were some good things and some bad things about gumbo. North of here, we just came from the area. South from Buffalo to a little place called Macy, the land wasn't half bad. You know, it was kind of rolling hills, some flatlands. From Macy down to Belle Fourche, that was all gumbo. Needless to say, it was one of the worst problems that they had running cattle trains down from Medora. They would get into that spot, and when the mud's thick enough to break an axle, don't recommend it. But that's why the Medora line lasted only 2 months. they couldn't afford to keep losing animals. So they kind of just put it on the side burner and waited for the railroads to come through. So, but yeah, we're going to take a peek at the cemetery. It's a smaller one. But,
it's medium sized.
it has inhabitants, and we'll go see if we meet anybody who wants to have a talk with us.
Here's a shout out just for you. You support me, so I support you. Shout out number 3 is for P.A. Story. P.A. Story is one of my Filipino friends. She does stories, romantic stories, if you're into those kind of things. She's very supportive, very fun. Her community is very interesting. I can't understand everything they say, but they are always very welcoming and include me as much as possible, so that's always nice and fun. So check her out. Make sure to like, share, comment, let her know that we sent you over, and have a good day. Start the walkthrough. Where you want to start, Mr. Butterhead?
We'll start back here at the corner and work our way down.
Is there anybody hiding in the bush? There's always somebody hiding in the bush.
There's always somebody in the bush.
Oh, maybe that's just plastic I see. Interesting.
Big pile of bush.
Hello, big pile of bush.
Here we have somebody in the downy inside the fence.
Looks like maybe one of yours. At least the flag blew over.
I think this flag blew over. This is a Sarah Brandt, 1834 to 1909, mother of D.A. Erickson.
Wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay. Heck. You guys are gonna get tired of seeing me.
Something Brandt. Looks like Lena Brandt. But I can't make out the date. JB. Oh, I'm dead.
Oh no. Oh dear.
We got a chess piece.
I see the chess piece.
The bishop. Bishop to E6. We have Agnes M. Road, 1866 to 1959. Wow.
That's a pretty good life.
94 years. And William Road, 1862 to 1930. He was born in the middle of the Civil War. Died right at the beginning of the Great Depression.
We're down?
We're down. I saw there was no anybody home.
Ah, I see though, to put the bushes in timeout. Bert St. John?
Died September 30th, 1900.
2.
20 years old.
Thank you. I saw the 2, but I couldn't read the rest.
Well, we got 2 bushes that are in jail.
Bad bushes.
Somebody buried there one time and they got rid of them, but I think they're still.
Or they could be flatters and we just can't see them because of the bush. I see a flatty thing in the middle.
I see a ton.
If you look right here, babes, you can see the flat.
Here's one too.
It says Gilbert on the fence. Madeline maybe?
Maybe.
I think it's Adeline. Gilbert.
Okay.
Then there's another one there.
Gotcha. So Gilbert's resides in jail. Okay.
Yeah, poor
Here's
Garrett.
Sonny Garrett.
Hello, Mr. Garrett.
Oh, Nipperson.
I see that. You can go say hello to girl. We want to go down or
Yeah.
up?
Let's go down.
Okay. What did you
Whoa. You trip over the metal thing. Your turn.
Apparently.
Garrett said, thank you.
Apparently. It's like, wait, don't go. Ay, ay, ay.
Okay.
I see that. Mary Potter.
1847 to 1909. Pearson.
Pearson?
Yeah, the top one says Pearson.
Oh, it says Potter below. I wonder if she was born Pearson or born Potter.
Okay. Very sweet. Redville Trift Nicodem.
Okay. Well, here's an oldie.
Wow.
Ah, that thing's got to be old.
George, son of...
Can't read the rest.
Hey, George.
Hi, George. There's a couple oldies. Or they might just be rocks. Hard to tell. Oh, we can. Uh-oh.
Ransom Rathbone.
Ransom's laying down on the job.
Yeah. Ella Isaw.
Interesting.
1868 to 1939. Joseph Isaw. 1860 to 1931.
There's May Payne. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, May.
How about Kenneth Payne?
Oh, that's not as bad as May Payne.
Right.
Still not a good name,
but... What would you do the other 11 months of the year?
There's a baby behind you.
Yeah.
Hi, baby. Looks like 3.
Yep. 94 to 97.
This one says Mother Stella Montague? Montgomery? I think it's Montgomery.
Montgomery.
Yay!
1918. Oh wow, look at the big plot.
Big empty plot.
Yeah. I passed peacefully, don't worry.
Rose Brandt and Jean Brandt.
That's kind of funny, this one here.
Uh-huh.
September 20th is my dad's birthday. 1950 is my mom's birth year.
Interesting. I think I knew part of that.
Story, Moser Harris.
Oh no.
It's a good story. He's got his own plot.
He has his own plot.
Okay.
What? You can only say puns? Where is that written?
Happens upon this guy. If he isn't an author, there's something wrong with that boy.
I agree.
That's like having a person with the last name of Baker. What are you? A doctor.
Our last name Doctor, and he's a dentist or something. Here's Duty.
Duty. Howdy, Duty.
Howdy, Duty.
Mac Duty. Bertha Duty. I did a duty. Oh. Poor people.
We shouldn't be allowed to.
Sorry.
A big tree, or which ones?
This is a unique
Richard?
headstone, though. Look at this. It looks just like a real tree.
Yeah, it does.
It's really wild.
Can't read it though.
Uh-oh.
Well, maybe.
Alma.
Beloved
Daughter.
Okay. That's definitely a C-O-T-T-F-R.
Born 1918. Died.
1886.
1885. Died 1903.
Uh-huh.
So.
That's as much. Uh-oh.